My grandfather passed away in Boston. There was a brief function, some speeches before the body was consigned to the flames. So in my grandfather's case, Professor Shah has passed away and his body has been kept for last darshan. So Professor Shah was actually not the body. Professor Shah was residing in this body. When his lifetime culminated, he left this body and moved on. The body is confined to the flames. Then who is Professor Shah, who left this body and moved away? In the 15th chapter in the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna has said, Mamaivamsho jiva loke jiva bhuta sanatanaha. It is a part of my eternal being which is present in all creation. So that aspect, that speck which was in the body, which is Professor Shah, is actually an aspect of supreme divinity. Now, where is it in the body? So the Narayan Suktam gives the answer. We chant the Vedas, that the answer is there in the Narayan Suktam. Neelato yadamadhyasta vidyul lekheva bhasvara nivara shukavattanvi pita bhasvatyanupama tasya shikhaya madhye paramatma vyavastitaha. Between the 9th and 12th vertebral column, it's about this much from the navel. In that space, there is a blue shining light. What is that light? Sa Brahma, Sa Shiva, Sa Hari, Sa Sendra, Sokshara, Paramatsvarat. That is the essence of all divinity. And what is that blue light? The Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that is verily a part of my eternal being. So actually, we are all that blue light who are residing in these diverse forms, whether American, African, Australian, Canadian, Indian, any continent, any country, any religion, any gender, any strata of society, any profession. Our own original true identity is that blue light, which is residing in that body. That blue light is an aspect of the supreme divinity, and that blue light has been provided with 24 instruments so that it can use those 24 instruments in order to merge back into the original source from which it has separated. Here is a very interesting analysis to explain this further. Vedanta says that there is only one sun, but as many pots filled with water, in that many pots the sun will reflect itself. The pot can be made of mud, can be made of brass, copper, silver, gold, gem-studded, whatever the external form of the pot, as long as there is water in the pot, the sun will shine. It is the same sun. So irrespective of the individual status, achievement and wealth, that sun which is shining within each of us is divinity itself. Here's a very interesting story from the Bhagavatam. When Lord Krishna was spending time with the kids in the forest when he was a small child, and they were all going for these picnics, and they were all eating food together, and those children were not of some high strata of society. But Krishna never had any such distinctions. So he would sit with them and share the food, eat from the same plate, etc. And once Lord Brahma was passing by, these are so many of these stories are meant to give a very strong message. They are filled with symbolism. So when Lord Brahma was passing by, he looked at this and he said, this person is supposed to be Krishna. He's supposed to be divinity. But what sort of divinity is he? He's sitting and eating and sharing food from the same plate that these kids who belong to very ordinary families are eating. I don't expect such behavior from divinity. So what did he do? He took away all the Gopalas and vanished. What Krishna did, from his own form, he created all those Gopalas, and for 1 full year, Krishna only in all those forms was living in the houses of those people in Gokul Vrindavan. And a year later, it was actually a moment later, but with the time difference between Canada and India, the time difference between Brahma Loka and Bhuloka, it was just a moment for Lord Brahma. And when he looked back, he saw that everything is as it is. And he realized that this has to be the Lord, because it's impossible that all these diverse people have been created after I've actually taken them away. And then he comes and asks for forgiveness from Krishna. And Krishna tells him that why should you have any distinction between high and low? You have been given the job of creating all these multiple forms. Your job ends there. What gives value to each of those forms? What gives lives to each of those forms? It is me who is shining in all these forms. The external differences are inconsequential because what gives life to all of them is me. Then how can you distinguish between one and the other as high, low, good, bad, white, black, etc., etc.? Very important lesson from the Bhagavatam, relevant even in today's times, because all the discourse today in the world is about these distinctions. In fact, the Kena Upanishad says that if the eyes, ears, nose, mouth and skin are the ones which have the power of perception, how is it that a dead man is not able to see, hear, speak or feel or smell? He has all those organs. Why is he not able to speak, smell, hear, touch, etc.? Because what gives power to all these external senses is the jiva or the divinity within. The divinity gives power to all of this. When the divinity no longer exists, all these external things are inconsequential. Swami always used to say, whatever the sweet, Mysore pak, gulab jamun, peda, barfi, whatever sweet you like, it has its value only when sugar is added to it. That sugar in all of us is divinity. That sugar which gives value and existence to all of us is divinity.